with you, fam. It's Simone. Today, we are going to be doing a review of first year. I am officially a second year. Yay! I'm actually in the summer in between first and second year, so doing internship stuff and all of that, which I will gladly talk to you guys about that in a different video. We are going to do something we haven't done before, which is a reaction video. A reaction video to a video that I made in September, closer to the beginning of first year. And I wanted to just talk about the things that have changed. And I already know so many of the things that I was doing in September, I no longer do and will probably stop doing forever. So it's going to be really interesting real time to see how much things have changed. So let's get into the video. I'm so excited.
So I'm in med school.
Hmm.
It's official. I'm a med student. See, the shirt says that it's true.
Love that
The
shirt.
date of this recording is September 14th. It's been a little over 2 months. Just wanted to give y'all a little insight into what my life's been like. Wanted to give y'all a little life update. Let's start. Let's take it all the way back to my first initial impressions. Whoa! To be completely honest with you, I did not believe it. I did not believe that I was actually a med student.
I still don't
I was
sometimes.
like, am I really a med student? Did I really get here? Like imposter syndrome, and then also just being like, no, this is undergrad, or is this undergrad? No.
Humbled quickly. It is not undergrad. Whew. Quickly humbled. Surprises.
Some surprises. Some things that surprised me was everybody is coming from such different places in their lives. Med school process looks different for everybody. Everybody's journey is different.
True.
Like could be sitting next to somebody who just had a kid, and then I have like a 17-year-old in my class.
The crazy thing about that is throughout this year, I found out we have like 4 of my classmates have kids. A lot of them are getting engaged, a lot of them are getting married or already married. So it's like this became more and more true the more that I was in med school and the more that I got to know my classmates.
All types of people, all from all different walks in life. And it's kind of fun to get to know them. You never know who you're sitting next to.
Like, let's talk about my class. Love them down. Love them down. Shout out to the 105. Shout out to class of 2028. I love my class. Like this whole experience, like they made it. Because there were definitely days where we were in the trenches, certain blocks that were harder than others, all sorts of things that were really difficult. I genuinely couldn't have done it without them. So love my class. Love them.
On my daily routine a little bit. For the most part, Monday through Friday, I do have classes starting at 9 a.m. So I'm up and in class in a seat, hopefully, ideally by 8:30. But
That's funny. Oh, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna get to the end of this routine before I just rip it apart. We'll keep watching for now.
in reality, 8:45, 8:50 sometimes. Anyways, classes in the morning from like 9:30 to
8:50.
10:30. My goal is usually to be back at school around 6. And then I study from like 6 to 11. And then I head on home, walk the dog again, and go to bed and do it all in the next day. That's just my
I don't even really know where to start with this. So first of all, going to class every day. That ended quickly. When did that end? I think I was going to class until maybe January. January was the time where we were 2 or 3 weeks into class, and I looked at one of my classmates and I was like, I don't think I've gone to class all year, like all of 2025. I'm not going to class. So that was really ambitious. Really, what changed is just my effectiveness in class. One thing that changed, the main thing that changed, is the way that I'm approaching the information. Sitting in class all day, one can get really mentally draining. Then depending on the professor, I don't know how well I'm learning from each professor. So like there are some professors where I don't miss a single class, but there are other professors where it's like, whew, if I could watch this on 2 times speed and be done, then I'm gonna do that over that. The other thing is I did start kind of not depending on, but using secondary resources more the second half of the year. Boot camp, Anki, osmosis, those kinds of things as supplements to my lectures. So a lot of times my day wouldn't necessarily look like oh, I'm gonna go to class from, first of all, 8:30. What? Wow, I was really on it because near the end of the year, I was like, can I get to school by 9? Like, we'll see. For the second half of the year, I would get to school by about 9, and I would watch all of the boot camp videos for that day's lectures. Then I would go through the slides for that lecture, and kind of take notes based off of what I heard in the boot camp. If there were things in the slides that didn't really match up with what I saw in boot camp, or things in the slides that I just had questions on, I would go into the recording of that day's lecture and kind of go to that part of the lecture. So I wouldn't necessarily, for most lectures, need to watch the entire lecture. And then I would do the Anki or create questions based off of that. So yeah, that's kind of how my routine developed and changed. So, and that really worked for me because it was more passes. So the idea of a pass is the number of times that you look at the material. So what I just described was 3 passes. Did the bootcamp videos, went through the lecture slides, and then, did Anki or did questions. That's 3 passes in a day, which was really effective for me. The more passes, the better. One last thing I'll say on this is near the end of the year, we were doing neuro, and I did actually start going to class again, which is kind of like a total 180. I will say I was way more selective on which lectures I was going to. Whereas first half of the semester, I was going to every lecture no matter what. Second half of the lecture, I got to know the professors, got to know my learning style a little better, so I was a little more selective there. I did go to a lot of the lectures. And again, it was just because those professors, something about them made the information stick in my head really well. So again, whatever works for you works for you.
My schedule because that's what works for me. Or what I'm finding works for me. Things can still change. Again,
And
I'm
they did.
fresh
They
2 month
changed a lot.
old medical student. Things can change. Things do change. Some days I'm like I need to prioritize my mental health today so
Hmm.
that I can be more productive tomorrow. So I'm not gonna study tonight.
Look
I'm
at
just
you
gonna
go.
rest. And
You
then
better
some days
go.
I'm like, you know what? I need a little extra study time. I'm gonna skip the gym and I'm gonna go study earlier and I'm gonna study for longer. Or sometimes I'm like, you know what? I need a little extra sleep. So I'm gonna cut my study time off just a little bit earlier. Everybody's schedule is different. I know
Hmm.
people who don't go to class at all and
I
are
became
doing
one of those people.
well. They are passing their classes, they are getting what they need to get done. And I love that for them. I personally can't do that because I don't
Never say
learn
can't.
some lecturers I learn better from than others. And so from those lecturers that I don't learn as well from, sometimes I don't go to those classes. I'll instead just study that content during that lecture time so that I'm not behind. Another thing that just kind of works for me, keep being willing to try new things, keep willing to, be flexible and find what works for you. And
I love that. That's still true. Some lecturers work, some lecturers don't. All of that's true.
now I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my challenges that I've faced. One that you'll often hear and commonly hear is just figuring out how to absorb so much material in such a little bit of time. So, figuring out what type of studying is best for different types of materials. Free.
Absolutely. One thing that's like that doesn't really change, but like looking back and thinking back on things, what did change was me. Where it was way overwhelming to sit in a class and like go through entire sections of biochem. Like I'm talking an entire test worth of biochem in one day, if not one lecture. That was so overwhelming at first, but near the end, it became more and more manageable. It's like it didn't become less information, but my brain started adapting to the amount of the information. If I would have told this Simone, yeah, you're gonna need to learn all of the cerebellum in about a day, like that would have blown my mind, but I did it. And it's because it's like you are forcing yourself to stretch. Your mind has to stretch to accommodate all of this new information. And it works. You get there. So let that be encouraging to any, first years who are just starting or anybody who is, thinking about this. Yes, it's a lot of information, but one, It's enjoyable. At least it's all the body. That's what I keep saying. At least it's all the body. If you're a bio major like me, you know that we were learning plants, we were learning bacteria, we were learning all so we were learning vertebrates and invertebrates and all of the things. At least this is all the human body. And it actually, even if it seems unimportant, it does, build an importance. The pieces do connect to the patients that you're going to see. So it feels like a lot. It is a lot. Let me not even downplay it. It is a lot, but it is all building to something. And it's beautiful at the end, looking back, being like, wow, it really did connect. I remember this disease. I remember why this is important.
Another challenge that I have faced, and I kind of anticipated this one, is figuring out how to be a person, not just a medical student. I talked about my schedule already, and I am in class from so long, and I am studying for the rest of the day. So it just feels like sometimes like all I am is a medical student. What do I have to be as a person? Really have to be intentional about making sure I make time to be me, making sure that I hold on to some of these hobbies that I came in here with, making that happen and finding the balance between fun all the time and all studying all the time. Like there is a middle ground, and that is where I want to be.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. It's really hard being a person in med school. You're studying and it becomes your life. It really does. It becomes not even just like a big part of your life, it becomes your life just a little bit. You have to make not only time for yourself, but even time within your studying because it's not like, oh, okay, I have multiple tests coming up. I just need to stop. No, 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 no. It's like I need to find how I can be myself in the midst of this studying. So, like exercising, whoo, that fell off. Like I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I totally fell off with like going to the gym and like going on runs and stuff. There are some things that got to stay consistent, like my walks with my dog. Like those things can stay consistent. But even if I couldn't go on a run, I study with the Pomodoro method. And what I would do is I would use my breaks to work out, essentially work out. I would go up and down the stairs for like 5 minutes, set a 5 minute timer, go up and down the stairs for 5 minutes. And that was enough to make me feel like, okay, at least I'm moving my body. At least I'm not sitting here stagnant for hours and hours at a time. Or I would do like lunges up and down the hallway. Finding the space in your schedule, whether it's during your studying, whether it's during the day, whether it's at nighttime, whatever it looks like to do the things that make you you. It was hard and it still is hard, but I'm glad that I, kind of started finding that balance. And I, again, like balance is never stagnant. There's ups and downs. Like there were definitely weeks that I did better than others.
Successes where I feel like, hey, I kind of did that.
She ate that up.
Academics, I passed every exam.
Yay!
I did not know that was coming, but I actually passed on my exam.
That's still true,
and
actually.
ended my first block, which is basic principles, BP, with honors. So,
Yay!
like academically, I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Not like
Hey, I don't want to brag, but actually, I passed all of my blocks with honors. It was not easy. Like, to God be all the glory. I did not do it by myself. I couldn't have done it without God, couldn't have done it without my faith and my friends and my family. But I pushed myself harder than I thought that I could. And, for all intents and purposes, came out on top. So I'm definitely proud of that. Still a success.
another thing that I'm proud of is that like I'm maintaining my personhood, kind of like I talked about earlier about some of my challenges. Like that intentionality about being a person has actually translated into maintaining who I am. The things that coming into medical school all have shaped who I am.
Yes.
And in medical school and leaving medical school, I still want to be fostering those things about me that I enjoy, the things that are outside of medicine and outside of studying.
Beautiful. Oh, what she said. Like all of those hobbies, all of those, maintaining your personhood, all of that. It looks different in every season. It looks different right now in the summer than it did a few weeks ago when I was about to take all these tests. But like it is so, 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 so important to not burn out that you maintain some sense of personhood outside of studying, outside of medical student. Like, who am I? What do I enjoy? And like staying connected to that. Because yes, all of us enjoy medicine, all of us enjoy to some extent studying, but it's like, is that all? It has to be something else, some escape sometimes. Whatever that looks like, it's very important to keep that part of yourself.
Next, I am going to give a little study tip. Now, mind you, again, I'm new at this. I'm now a professional medical student
Just a
already. This is
baby.
just something that I picked up along the way. Beware of resource overload. When I
Yes.
came to medical school, I was bombarded with resources.
Mhm.
Fell into the trap initially of thinking, okay, I found these great resources, like 5 of them that I love. I'm just going to use all 5 of them for everything. No,
No,
that doesn't work.
girl, you don't got that kind of time.
In my mind,
No,
I am
exactly.
not saying that next, I'm going to talk a little bit about social/personal life. I feel like I've kind of talked a lot about balance, but the one thing that I really want to hit here is that balance is, if you look at a balance, it is never still, it's never like, oh, we're balanced, we got it. I think that's a common misconception of I have achieved balance and nothing is moving. From week to week, day to day, hour to hour, that balance is dipping in different directions. And it's
Love
important
the
to, like,
editing.
you need to
Love
talk
it.
that kind of girl. So like, hey, today I needed to study more than I needed to socialize. And tomorrow, maybe I'll need to socialize more than I need to study.
Yes, absolutely important to like do what you need. I said it already, but do what you need to do. Take what you need when you need it. I feel like I've told lots of classmates, and then lots of classmates have had to tell me that, like, if I get burnt out, then I don't help anyone. Work will be there tomorrow. The work will be there tomorrow. If you're staring at this work and at some point your eyes have glazed over and the work is just watching you, like, go home, take a nap, rest. The work will be there tomorrow. But if you don't go and rest and take what you need, then you might not be there tomorrow. And like, yes, that's a little dramatic, but it's true. Like, if I can't take what I need, I can't be a doctor, then what was it all for? So that is definitely still true.
Lastly, I want to talk about the friends that I made here because they're amazing. Oh my goodness, an absolute godsend. I love them so much. Yeah, we just kind of fell into each other's laps. And now we do
Love.
things together, like we are accountability partners, we are study
Mm-hmm.
partners, but we can
Mm-hmm.
also just like take a quick study break. I am so blessed to have started at least finding those people who I can have those
Mm-hmm.
conversations with, who I
Mm-hmm.
can be real and vulnerable. Love them. Love them down.
Love them down. Love them down. How can I even update this? Like, they are so amazing. You know who you are. I'm not gonna put everybody's name out there, but you know who you are. My study buddies, my ride or dies, my all-nighter buddies. I love you guys, and I genuinely am so blessed to have found all of you and found all of them, and to pre-meds or people going into their first year, just really, embrace this new season of life and the new people that you're meeting, and, be a friend, because, people need friends. And I genuinely believe that I would not have made it through this first year had my class not been stellar. I already shouted them out because they're amazing. Love the 105. One more time. Love them. But also, without my people, my core, group of 3 or 4 or 5, I would not have been able to make it without them. They're just amazing, and I love them so, so much. Yes, we study, but we also force each other to not study sometimes. We go to church together, which has been amazing. I go to Life Point ATL. Shout out to Life Point. Me and my friend, we were church hopping all the first semester, and then we found them second semester. We started going, and then we started bringing one of our friends, and then other people were like, "What church do you go to?" And then they started. So like, we've got a whole little Morehouse crew going there, and we serve together, and it's just. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. Just embrace it fully for what it is. I'm just so grateful to have found my people. So yeah.
A bit about campus life. To be completely honest, I am trying to keep my campus involvement to a minimum right now. So I am involved in the cardiology interest group. I'm actually the co-community service chair for them. I'm also a part of my class's care committee, which I'm really excited about because we haven't really gotten started with it.
Quick update on those. Yes, I am a part of the cardiology interest group. I'm the community service co-lead. I loved this year. It was so great. I organized a like heart health week in February, which was really nice to just do something fun, something I've never really done before. So that was great. In terms of care committee, loved that. Like it's one of the committees that's a little bit behind the scenes. It's not the one that has all the events or does all of the things outwardly, but like we truly get to care for the people of our class. We are the ones that, oh, we hear that you had a surgery, like let's get them a care basket. We heard that somebody in your family passed away. Let's make sure we reach out to them. I've loved that so much. Other things I'm involved in, I have been more involved in the HEAL Clinic, which stands for Health Equity for All Lives. We have CBO events, which are community-based outreach. So we go into the community and we do blood glucose and blood cholesterol and blood pressure and just really have that one-on-one time with the people of the community, the people that we're serving, which is amazing because you get to like, see the impact that you're making on people, and I just feel so tangible and I love that. Also, there's the clinic, which I get to kind of, this sounds weird, but be a student doctor. I get to learn so much from the upperclassmen, the M3s and M4s, that like I wouldn't have learned otherwise up until this point. They are teaching me how to write notes, and they're teaching me this is how you listen to lungs, this is how you listen to heart sounds. These are kind of things that you should think about whenever you're thinking about certain drugs. So much advice, so many good connections there. So that's been great. But other than that, I have tried to keep my, for lack of a better term, extracurriculars to a minimum just because, again, med school is enough. And so one thing that I have found is it's better to have more longitudinal, impactful experiences than more experiences. So that's kind of what I've been going for. The same thing kind of goes for med school applications. Like, have impactful things that you're doing more than just a lot of things that you're doing. You want to be able to talk about these things. And if you're not impacting them and they're not really impacting you, then how can you really talk about it?
And honestly, just a little bit of advice, a modicum of advice. Take it with a grain of salt because, hey, again, I'm new to this game.
I'm just a baby. I say,
I
I'm just
will
a
say
baby.
something that I dealt with coming in was thinking like I went straight through. Am I gonna have what it takes? Just classic imposter syndrome. Do I have what it takes? Do they know that they let me in here? Am I just skirting back?
That's
All
real.
of those things were thoughts in my head. And I would just encourage you that ultimately we all start out on a level playing field.
Absolutely. Imposter syndrome is real, but remembering like one more thing that I left out earlier that I forgot. I'm also a student ambassador now. So I am involved in interviewing, well, not really interviewing as much as being a part of the admissions process. And so being a part of that, I can guarantee you that they are not letting you in on accident. They scrutinize every piece of that application. They know everything from what you wore on your interview day to what all of the things that you have, what your letters of recommendation say, all of the things. They are looking at those things. They are scrutinizing it. There are people who have to fight for you to get in. So if you are in, you belong there. You deserve to be there. Okay? So don't think that, oh yeah, maybe they just scooted on by. Maybe they just let everyone in from that day. That did not happen. I can guarantee you that did not happen. So if you are in med school, if you're wherever you are, just know you are meant to be there and you belong there.
Don't let being younger or being older, having more or less experience. Don't let any of that discourage you.
So I wanted to end this video by just giving one last piece of advice, just based off of my entire first year. Take note of what you enjoy, take note of what you're good at and what you're not so good at, and what you enjoy learning, as well as what you enjoy doing, if that makes sense. So I'll say I really enjoyed our cardiology block. A lot of people didn't. Hey, don't come for me 105. I know, I know. But I really enjoyed our cardiology block. But more than just learning cardiology in class, when we were studying for our physiology mini board, a lot of that was cardio too, and like a lot of learning that. And I enjoyed learning that stuff. So maybe I'll be a cardiologist. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But also, like, some people really enjoyed gross anatomy lab. And so they're like, wow, I didn't expect to enjoy cutting and seeing all of those things as much. And so maybe they're thinking more surgery now. Then we also had opportunities to shadow in our clinical preceptorships, which was great. And the clinical preceptorship itself is only a few hours. Okay, so it's not like, oh, I'm gonna know exactly how to be a hematologist by the end of this preceptorship. That's not gonna happen. But I would say use those opportunities to see, okay, do I like the lifestyle of this physician? Let me ask when they go home. Let me ask how many charts they take home. Let me ask if they have kids. Ask questions to get to the lifestyle of them, but also why did they choose to do it? And maybe you're like, huh, that kind of sounds like me. Maybe that doesn't. Maybe you're going in the opposite direction. Maybe what they love about their specialty is something that causes you like internal turmoil and anxiety. And so you maybe not do those. That kind of goes into just keeping an open mind. Like, I know there are a lot of people who come in with one thing and they are dead set on it. And that is totally fine. Like, I am not hating on those people. More power to you. I was not one of those people. I came in wanting to do emergency medicine, and that lasted a little bit. Then I was like neurology for like a day. Then I was like OBGYN for like a week. Then it was like, hey, we ended up with cardiology today. And if it changes tomorrow, I will let you know, okay? And so that is a-okay. I think that there's like a lot of pressure on it because it's like, this is the rest of my life. What am I gonna do? But don't put that pressure on yourself. Like, it's okay if you change your mind. Right now, we're just, learning what we enjoy doing. So be open, be flexible, and figure out what you enjoy and go for it. All right. Thank you so much for watching my little update video on medical school and how it went and how it's going and what's changed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you want more like this. Let me know if you want me to react to something else. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.